You're watching an RH Reality Check production brought to you by rhrealitycheck.org.
Hi, I'm Lupe Rodriguez. Did you know that the United States Congress has spent more than $1 billion on education programs that their own studies say don't work? It's called abstinence-only education.
In Nebraska, there are a lot of abstinence-only programs being taught in high schools, whether they be public schools or even some private schools. And I think it's kind of ridiculous, actually.
Abstinence-only education is very strong in the South as a whole, but especially in Georgia.
In my high school, we have a few people who are pregnant and who are HIV positive, and it's just a shame that in my high school I'm being taught abstinence only until marriage. And that just entirely excludes the whole gay and lesbian population of my high school.
You would think that a lot of people would be in favor of abstinence-only programs, but actually they're not, because they can look around and see that 1 in 4 young girls have an STD. Last year there were 30 girls pregnant in my high school. It's shown that abstinence-only isn't working. There are lots of young teenage girls that are pregnant, that are getting sick.
Everyone knew that everyone was having sex, but it wasn't really talked about.
It's very dependent on where they're from, but a lot of the small country schools and most of the private schools have a class in 8th grade probably that's maybe one 40-minute session that says, well, you can have sex, you'll get pregnant, and you'll die. That's basically what I was taught up until high school when I had the program done by the HIV/AIDS peer education group.
Every year for one day we have an assembly, and a group would come in, and they were, it would just be like an outside group that contracted with the school, so they would get CBA funding, and they would come into our school and they would do our abstinence education program, and they told us that we needed to wait to have sex, and if we wanted the best sex ever, it would be on our wedding nights, and that's what we needed to wait for, and that abstinence is the only 100% effective way to prevent pregnancy and STDs, which is true. That's true. But then they would also continue on to say that, you know, condoms aren't effective, birth control is not all that effective.
I know a number of females specifically who I believe if they had comprehensive education concerning sex, they wouldn't be in the predicament that they are in now, taking care of 2 or 3 children, or even like working minimum wage jobs in order to support their lifestyles due to their out-of-wedlock pregnancy.
The United States has some of the highest rates of unintended teen pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases in the developed world. It's time to get honest and get comprehensive sex education.